Yeah, okay. Oh. 나 혹시 몰라 경고하는데 잘 들어 지금 위험해 So dangerous 자꾸 나를 자극하지 마 나도 날 몰라
I like Meg's little brother, Charles Wallace, because in his age, he knows many things and is incredibly wise.
Among the characters in the book, I like Meg a lot because I can see myself in her. She can control her feelings and sometimes very courageous.
I like the part where they are traveling through the light across the universe.
I like the part where Meg saved Charles and they came back home with their father, where they landed into Danny and Sandy's vegetable garden.
I like this book because it explains many scientific things that I don't know.
I like reading this book because while I'm reading it, my mind is so full of imaginations and I can totally feel myself.
I learn more about the corners of the universe and some values that I can do.
I learned that every moment with our family is gold, so we need to cherish it. At first, I thought that Wrinkle in Time was a sci-fi book because of its cover, but when I read it, it really is a sci-fi book because of the dimensions of the galaxies that was stated in the book, and also the characters traveled in the universe physically.
In Time. A Wrinkle in Time is the story of Meg Murray, a high school age girl who is transported to space and time with his brother Charles Wallace and her friend Calvin O'Keefe to an adventure to rescue her father from the evil forces who kept him prisoner on another planet. The story begins when Mrs. Watsit arrives on Meg's house. Even though Mrs. Watsit looks like an ordinary old lady, she's actually a celestial being with the power to read Meg's thoughts. On the following afternoon, after Mrs. Watsit's visit, Meg and her brother Charles Wallace went towards the house of Mrs. Watsit. On the way, they meet Charles O'Keefe, a friend of Meg. They learn from Mrs. Watsit and her friends, Mrs. Who and Mrs. Witch, that the universe is threatened by an evil force called the Dark Thing, which takes form of a dark cloud engulfing all the stars. Some planets have succumbed to this evil force, including Kamazots, the planet on which Meg's father is imprisoned. The three, Mrs. Watsit and her friends transported Meg and her company to Kamazots to rescue their father. On Kamazots, the objects and the places there look alike because the whole planet must follow the terrible rhythmic pulsation of IT, a giant brain. Charles Wallace tries to fight IT with his intelligence, but soon was defeated by its evil powers, and he became a robot-like creature which follows the orders of IT. Charles leads Meg and Calvin to where IT is, but Meg and Calvin cannot defeat IT, and and was almost defeated. However, they escaped on the last minute when Meg's father, Mr. Murray, appeared and teleported them to another planet called Iskutchet. I don't know how the pronunciation, but I think it's Iskutchet. On planet Iskutchet, Meg decides to go back to Camazotz to free her brother from the evil clutches of IT. Mrs. Witch tells her that she has a power that IT doesn't have, but she must discover this power for herself. When confronting IT on planet Camazotz, Meg realizes that what her power is, the power to love. With this ability, she concentrated all her love to Charles Wallace, freeing him from IT, and she teleported with Charles through her house when her father and Calvin are waiting. That is the story of Wrinkle.